Have you ever felt like you did just about everything right? Like you're having this great conversation, you're prepared, you love your product, you've used it, you've know other people have gotten great results from it, and the person that you're talking to, you are absolutely sure you can help. And the conversation's going great. She's warm, she's nodding, like you're like, we're going to be besties by the time this is all done. And she's actually even saying things like, this is exactly what I've been looking for. And then you say the price, and something shifts and something changes. Like it's not like super obvious. There's just like a slightly different energy now. And like there's a little awkwardness that you can kind of detect. And then she says those words, and you hear it kind of in slow motion. It's like, let me think about it. And you then replay it over and over in your head 4 days. You start asking yourself, like, what did I do wrong? Or you start telling yourself, see, I knew it was too expensive. It's too expensive. Then you start to think, well, maybe I should have offered less or a different bundle or everybody's favorite, a discount. But here's what I want you to actually really sit with, because it's going to absolutely reorganize what you think about every conversation that you have going forward. She decided before you finished the pricing sentence. And my friend, it was not about the numbers. It was actually about what your body did as you said the number. You see, there's this thing that happens between two nervous systems that are in close proximity, and it's called co-regulation. Co-regulation is when your body and her body are in a silent conversation, and it's based on feeling, like an energy feeling underneath the words. And what's happening is her body is reading your settledness, your clarity, or it's reading your fear long before she's ever actually listening to the entire sentence. And just to be clear, this like isn't woo woo. It's science. This is a survival mechanism that we all have. It's wiring. We are always asking in our current environment, is this safe? Is the person in front of me safe? Or like, what's going on? And there's so many people I have coached over the years who have said, no, I have an issue, but I never let anybody else know I have an issue. And I'm like, girl, she can feel it. Like you can say all the things, but people feel it. And when you brace, when you say a price, that's a problem for both you and her. And here's what most people get wrong about this whole thing. For just a second, maybe even a half a second, when you let that number out of your mouth, what began to happen is you imagined yourself being asked to pay that price. So what's going on is you are actually reflecting your own money story, your own scarcity. And that part of you that flinches, that does the math, that thinks to itself, this is a lot. This is more than what most people can pay for. That actually oozes out into the room without you even knowing it. And what's happening is the person in the conversation with you, well, they're reading that hesitation. They're feeling that hesitation. And she just simply did the only thing that the nervous system is desired to do when they're in fear and uncertainty, your uncertainty, the uncertainty that you accidentally leaked by saying, I'm not really sure it's worth this price. The nervous system is like, okay, fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And it goes, I need out of here. I need out of here. So let me just simply say, I need to think about it, because that's the most socially acceptable and safe thing to say. And here's the hard truth that most people are not willing to tell you. She didn't decline your product. She bought into your scarcity. You can't sell her on a belief about money and pricing and worth of your products that you don't actually believe yourself. And that's our topic today because so many people struggle with this one thing. We want to talk about how to close more sales by being the first to buy into the deal. I want to tell you about a woman that I worked with. And I'm going to change her name and protect her innocence. But honestly, the truth is the pattern is exactly the same. And I feel like it's even more so with women because I've watched it 10,000 times. The first time I watched my client talk to a customer, everything was great. Like she had done all the things that we'd practiced. She'd gotten comfortable talking with the person and not pitching. And she was warm and she was real. But the minute the conversation drifted toward the cost, I watched everything change before my eyes. She got to the price and she fumbled over it. She started with and then she just kind of blurted out this number, and I couldn't really tell what the number was because it was kind of clouded then with all these other things that she added to it. So it was like, so it's X a month, and there's this and this and this and this, and you get this. And by the way, there's this special and there's this discount and all the kind of things that really confuses the entire equation, including, hey, and by the way, you don't have to do it this way. If you don't want a subscription, you don't have to do the subscription. And she discounted the entire thing before she was even asked to. And here's what was actually happening, because it was actually never about the customer. She was pricing from inside her own wallet. When she said X dollars a month, the person that she was actually thinking about paying that was herself, her own scarcity, her own husband's opinion, her own friend's opinion, her own ideas about whether it was worth it or not, or whether she was worth the results that would come with that price tag. In essence, her own scarcity was doing the talking. And that's the thing I'm just going to say as plainly as I can. Pricing discomfort isn't about whether you think the other person thinks it's worth it. It's about our own relationship with money. And when we flinch at the price, we're not protecting the customer from the cost. We're protecting ourselves from a number that we ourselves actually aren't comfortable paying. So when price is a problem, we're not actually addressing the customer. We're addressing our own issues. We didn't work on her scripts. We worked on her own money stories. And the next conversation that I watched, she got to the price. Now, I'm not going to lie. I might have been signaling some discomfort because I was kind of like, are we going to actually get past this point? Because, man, you are killing it up to here. She approached it like a leader. She said, the X subscription, right? X being the price, right? The $100, the $150, the $500 subscription price is what gets you started on the road to more energy and time with your kids, to becoming the woman who isn't running on empty by 2:00 in the afternoon and has enough energy to enjoy her life and her family. Same number, y'all. But now it wasn't a cost. It was actually a beginning. She wasn't asking the customer to spend. We had reframed it so that she was inviting her customer on a road, on a journey. And then she just stopped talking. And she did so confidently. So she let it sit. She didn't react. She didn't make it smaller. She didn't discount it. She didn't need an escape route. She just simply named the route and invited the customer to take the next step. And the customer, by the way, who had every reason to stall, who had the exact profile of someone who normally would say, let me think about it, sat for a moment and said, okay, how do I get started? Same woman, same product, same price. Two completely different nervous systems. Your nervous system matters. The only thing that changed here this particular time was that she had bought into the value of the product and the number she was presenting. Now, I have some experience with this. I remember when I was selling skincare, and I started off selling skincare, and I was comfortable from my own scarcity standpoint with getting people to buy $50 worth of product. So I sold this one thing because I was comfortable getting you to spend $50. Why? Because I was comfortable spending $50. My cousin, who also joined with me and who was an experienced salesperson, was beating my butt in sales every single time. And I remember I finally got to a place where I could sell an entire system. So instead of just selling like the eye cream, I learned to sell the entire system. So now I was selling probably about, I don't know, $150 at the time, maybe $160 worth of skincare. And I was so excited. And I had actually learned the value of the skincare. And guess why? Because y'all started using it and I started getting really great results. And I was like, man, this stuff is worth like 5 times the price. This is incredible. If you want to look like this, if you want to feel like this is the price, period. This is the price. That created confidence for me until the company changed the price and updated the entire system. I remember that day sitting at their convention and they were like, we just came out with a brand new high-tech, fully fantastic system. And it was like $325 for the entire thing. Same number of products that I had just gotten comfortable selling for like $150, $160. And it was $266 with a discount. See how I remember those numbers? I remember thinking to myself, oh my gosh, this is the end. This is the end. I cannot ask people to spend $266 on skincare. I mean, that's legitimately how I felt in my heart. I had a scarcity and a money issue. And then I finally had a conversation with my cousin and I said, how are you selling so much? And she's like, listen, Linda, I am not going to a sales event to make $25. I am going to sell people what they need to get the results that they're looking for. And they need the entire system. She had so much confidence in the system, y'all, that she always had 2 full systems on hand. So at the end of her presentation, she would say, and the entire cost of the system is just $266. And this system is going to last you easily 6 to 8 months because it's super concentrated. Now, I have 2 full systems here with me tonight. The first 2 people to actually purchase get to take theirs home. I was blown away. And then I started doing it. Now, I'm not going to lie. The first few times, it was a hot mess. My lips were quivering. I did not do well. But I learned to say the price. Like I literally would be practicing in my car on the way there so that I would get comfortable saying the price. I learned that like, oh my gosh, there's 6 pieces to this system. When you break it down on a monthly basis over a 6 to 8 month period, because it's so concentrated, it's literally just a couple of bucks a day. And a couple of bucks a day to love the skin you're in, to feel good about using clean products, to have an anti-aging system that actually really worked. Like I finally got to a point where I could say, listen, the best price for this product is as a preferred customer, and it's $266. That includes the entire line 2 times a day and the cute little bag. And because I knew some of you would actually want to take it home tonight after feeling and touching it yourself, the first 2 people to order the entire line, I will 100% let you have it and take it home. You guys, I started selling stuff like crazy, like crazy. And I can even go back even further, you guys. I have vivid memories of we had order forms back in the day. I had vivid memories of writing up people's orders and looking at numbers like $375, $475. And I remember thinking to myself, I can't actually even say this number out loud. There were so many times, if I'm being honest, that I actually would turn the order form around and slide it over and say, that's your total for everything that you want. It's due today. I can take cash, check, or credit card. We took checks at the time. And then I used to say, or I could do the husband protection plan, a little bit on your check, a little bit of cash, a little bit on your credit card. That way there's no one big charge anywhere. Like I had this down. But I will tell you, it took a minute. It took a minute. But what I would start to do is I started to realize, number one, it wasn't them, it was me. That was the first thing. The second thing I started to realize is that the right customers spend that kind of money regularly and more and more. And then the third thing I started to do was I started to say the price out loud, like on my drive to every presentation. In the bathroom while I was getting ready in the morning, I would say 100 times at least a week. And the total investment today is 266 is actually, so I would say only. The total investment is only $266 when you come in as a preferred client. And keep in mind, this is easily a 6 to 8 month supply, using it twice a day. Super concentrated, activated, and you'll see results starting tonight. As a matter of fact, I have 2 systems here tonight. The first 2 people that would like to order the full system can take theirs home tonight. Who would like to go first? Like, do you see how I could say it now? It's because I just kept saying it over and over and over so that I wasn't tripping over the price every single time. And y'all, if you're sitting there not comfortable with the price and you've ever watched somebody buy something comparable from someone else for 3 times the money, the person that told you, I don't have the cash right now, you learn very quickly it's not them. It's something that you are feeling. It's something that you need to work on. So let's talk about full price, because there's some part of you that's thinking, even now, isn't it kind of pushy to ask for like a subscription price? Isn't it kind of pushy to ask people to buy month after month? Isn't it kind of pushy to tell somebody this is what is going to come out of your budget? And I want you to turn that around, because that kind of thinking isn't going to get you anywhere. And we think to ourselves, wouldn't it be kind to give them a discount? Y'all, the number of times I have seen people actually take money out of their commissions to pay for shipping or add an extra discount, honestly, it's crazy. It's crazy. You don't go to the movies and have somebody tell you, you know what? I feel like $10 a ticket is too much. So let me take $5 out of my own check and let me pay you. You don't go to the hair salon and expect your hairstylist to say, you know what? It should have been about $200, and that's cheap where I live, $200 today. But because I feel bad about all the work I've done and the price that I'm charging you, I'm going to sacrifice some of my commission to get you to do your hair. We just don't see it anywhere else. But when it comes to women and sales, and in particular in network marketing, there's this crazy thing I see where people do not learn how to own their own scarcity thinking, learn how to say the price, and let people decide for themselves. The right people, the people that want to buy regularly, the people that are committed to actually take a journey, will understand the value of what you're offering, but only if you buy into it first. When you can say the price with ease, they feel ease. And here's what I want you to know. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about sales leadership. You see, your prospect does have some doubts naturally. They are grappling with their own nervous system and their own primal brain, and they are struggling because they need to do the thing, but they have doubts. And the kindest, most respectful leadership position you can take is to actually be settled with the price, show her your confidence, and let her borrow some of your confidence so she takes that first step. So you have two choices. You can let your insecurity become her insecurity, or you can let your confidence become her confidence. Discounting to soothe your own insecurity is not generosity. It's actually a subtle way of losing trust and abandoning the person who needs the help you were there to offer. And y'all, the same is true for those of you in network marketing and about offering the business. It is your uncertainty, it is your doubt about your ability to create results that are aligned with what you're offering that keeps you from talking about it more regularly. And here's what you need to know. You cannot wait for this to happen. You have to build it with practice. You have to learn to keep offering it in a way until you become comfortable with what you're saying. You know, if you do not believe, for example, that someone can join your team and create gobs and gobs of money, not that you should be saying that, but I think that's what people generally think. It's like, well, everybody that comes in wants to make like so much money, and I haven't made so much money, and therefore I shouldn't really be offering it. I'm not confident offering it. First of all, not everybody comes in and asks to create gobs and gobs of money. As a matter of fact, a wide population research that was done on network marketing says that people would actually give the business a try if they could make $300 to $500 in their first 90 days. In their first 90 days. This is why authenticity is so important when it comes to selling. If you are out there thinking about all your top income earners and thinking that like, oh, what I want to do is I want to attract people like that. So I got to sell this incredible, crazy thing that you don't actually believe that you can achieve, and therefore you don't believe you can teach them to achieve it, then why are you offering that? It is totally okay to start with $300 to $500. It is totally okay to say, well, step one is making enough money to learn how to get your products paid for, and then we will work on the extras. You have to lead with the thing that you believe the most in. And if you're listening to this podcast, I know you're making more than that. I know that you are undervaluing the amount of money that you're making and telling yourself, I don't know enough. When in actuality, if you could teach most people to make half as much as you are making, they would be all in. And when you start making more money because they're making more money, everything will change. But the moral of the story here is this is not about mindset, and it's not about affirmations. This is 100% about nervous system work. And it's your most direct path. Practice, practice, practice. Saying things that generate confidence as you are saying it. And that's the whole conversation, by the way, inside of the Sales Confidence Studio. Because most people do not need a better script. They don't need new tactics. They don't need to learn how to handle it's too expensive, because that's not really the problem. And that is what we are unpacking in the Sales Confidence Studio. So I have left a link in the description below. You can click on it. Your first 7 days are on me. If you would like to DM me and talk more about it, I have left that information below as well. Because when you buy first, everything downstream of that looks easier, feels easier, creates more confidence. My name is Genevieve Scory. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and please like and comment on the podcast. I read every single comment. It tells other people what was in the episode, and make sure you subscribe. Thanks for being here, and I look forward to sharing more wisdom on Fix This, Grow Fast, Sales Confidence Made Easy.